couple jobs on Big Blue. The last time I was here, I did a oil change service job on my truck. I work on everybody else's truck, and I did an oil service and and just did a whole check over on my truck, and I found some things wrong. So I had the boss order me some parts. My carrier bearing is shot. I have a shaking. You guys have heard it in videos. Squeak, 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 squeak. I think that's what my problem is. I have a carrier bearing that's pretty shot. So the rubbers are starting to go out on it. I got some play in it. So I think that's where my vibration is coming from. And also my oil seal on my front differential is leaking. We're behind my yoke there. So we're going to be changing that out. The first thing I got to do is I have to pull the drive shaft out. I removed the steps. There's just 4 bolts. I just removed those so I have easy access go underneath there. And I pulled the catwalk out too because I have to get in there with a big impact and get this nut off the front drive there. So I got one tire jacked up and I'm going to get working on this. So there's just basically 4 bolts here. They're 1/2 inch 12-point sockets. That pulls the cap off the U-joint. The U-joints are fine. That's the reason why I have one tire jacked up, so I'm able to spin it. I can just use my handy dandy little rope I have. And you just stick a pry bar. That U-joint's been in there a while. Let's get a big hammer, give some taps on it. Don't want to lose the cap. She's going to go too. There, it just fell out. I don't want to lose the cap. Go. I'm going to drop our drive shaft. Just like so. I'm going to just remove these 2 bolts and the axle will drop out.
that moving around.
So, go. All right. Here we go. It's pretty red. Let's hit it. Let's see if we can get it. I can't get the socket on there. There she is. Well, that wasn't as hard as the other one I did. Man, that other Kenworth I did, whew, that thing was on there. So, let that sit for a little bit. Cool down so it's not so hot to touch, but then I'm going to go get that special tool. It's a puller. And pull the yoke off. Well, here's that special puller. It's really nothing. And I'll tell you the truth right now, if somebody wants to make a little bit of money, make me one of these. Basically, I don't know, I can measure it and stuff, and if you have a lathe and stuff, and milling equipment and stuff, you can make this, you can make one of these things, I'll pay you for it. But the price they want for this thing is just ridiculous. So basically, you just put it in like so. You got these little caps on there, you got a half moon cut out. She's still warm. Bolts. There we go. I'm not going to run it all the way in. I'm just going to cinch it up a little bit. And then it has this large threaded rod. Basically, you just thread it in there. It's just a simple puller, but you know, it's specially made for this. Boy, this company, this Tiger Tools, they charge a lot. But you get it centered on the shaft in there, just like so. Then you can run these bolts the rest of the way in. Just like so. This is 1.25 inches. You just run her in, she'll pull it off. Nothing to it. Alright, let's see if we can get this yoke off. This is a 1 5/8. Alright guys, we got the old seal pulled out of here. And we got it up. You just use a tool like this, just has a hook on her. I didn't really show it, I just kind of did it, wasn't thinking about recording. But you just put it next to the shaft, you kind of turn it, hooks it, and then it's got like a deal on there. And you just pop it and work it around and the seal will pop out. We got this one all pulled out of there. The problem is that this faceplate here on this differential is pretty rusted up. That's why I was leaking. And I called and I can't get another one of these, I have to order it. So I went in there with sandpaper. I've actually just done about 2 hours of sanding and everything else because I have to leave tonight or tomorrow morning and they can't get me one. So I cleaned her all up. I think she'll be good enough. Hopefully she'll stop sealing or seal it up, stop leaking. But here's a new seal right here. And partner with number 127591 DAN. I guess Dan made this. Now you're supposed to have a special driver for this to put this in there and stuff. You don't use any kind of sealant or anything. It's actually built onto there. You can kind of set it on there. I usually just do that. There's so many different drivers and everything else for these trucks and all this stuff. You know, especially tools that you can have and all this stuff. I've actually found just using pieces like this. This is a chunk of a PVC pipe, and it actually fits right into there. So, just going to use that. Go. Alright, we got our yoke put on there where it's supposed to be. There's our new nut. It has Loctite inside of the nut. These things get cranked on here so tight I don't even know if you need Loctite to, but it's on there. That should take care of my leaking situation. I did get my new drive shaft back with the new carrier bearing pressed on there, so do that. It's out in the pickup truck. I'm going to get that, put the other yoke on there, and get ready to throw that back in. Alright. Throw this drive shaft back in here. mount up our new carrier bearing. And you kind of need about 4 hands to do this. Actually, you know what? Let's try to work smarter. Settle down there, buckwheat. Alrighty. Oh, that should be not too bad. You know, I just thought of something. I need to jack my tire up so I can spin my yoke. It's not going to be in line. Alright. There we go. Alright, the next thing we gotta do on this big blue here is tie rod ends. So there's a counter pin in here. They can be kind of finicky. Sometimes you can get them out, sometimes you can't. Alright. What that's from. I'm trying not to take apart everything. Let's see if we can get it. Got it. Next thing we're gonna do, I can't align the truck, but I'm gonna try to get it close. So I'm gonna try to set it up close to what we had. So it almost goes straight. 1.81. And the next thing is to heat this. I could try to turn it up, it ain't gonna happen. I ain't gonna attempt it. They pretty much just lock up solid. You can't get them to move. Isn't it crazy how the other one, I mean, it's a fight all the way to the end. You put the new one in there, you can thread it in there with a finger, you know? It's pretty crazy. Just the effects of rust, you know? I mean, that's way too far in. Check that. It's the wrong way. That's where she's gonna be. changed. Oh, time to install it in the truck. Alright. Put this side on. I already got the other side on. Basically, just tighten it up like that, and then you look for the hole where the cotter pin is, and just keep it turning, give it a little crank to get to that hole. Ooh, I hit it perfect. You can see it right there. Pretty simple. And then I don't bend them over so that it's tight in there. I leave it sitting out so the head of this cotter pin is out here. I do that for a reason, because I take them apart. These that are on here, these are probably original, and they had the head sucked all the way in. Well, you couldn't grab it with a vice grips. So if you just put them in there just so you know they're a little bit, it doesn't have to be sucked in there tight. There's no reason for it. It's just in there so if the nut ever would come loose, it can't come off. That's all it is. That's all it's about. So there we go. Tie rod is in. Tie rod, new tie rod ends. The alignment's going to be a little screwy, but we'll be fine. I can't steer. I can't turn. If I'm going to pop the tires back on here, and Big Blue is done here. I'm going to pull Big Blue out, and I got a couple other trucks I got to do. So I'm going to be doing a load tonight to Costco. Get some sleep there in the morning. Get the alignment. It's all taken care of. The alignment guys will love me, because all they got to do is loosen up those two bolts, and they'll be able to turn that tie rod with their hand, basically, to get the adjustment. So that's cool, and we'll get an adjustment done, and get an alignment done. And like I said, 796 is there right now. It's going in first thing in the morning. That one's getting done, and then when I get empty, I'm running over there. When 796 is done, then they're going to work on this one, and I'll bring 796 back to the shop, and then when this one's done, the boss will give me a ride over there to pick this truck up. Alright guys, I'm going to let you go. I just got pop tires on here and clean up a little bit, get all the tools off it, and I'm out of here. I got to grease these two. These little, when you grease these, the grease works on the bottom. These little rubber deals right here is where the grease is stored. You just basically grease them until they puff up, and that's it. You don't over grease them, because then they get holes and it pops all out and grease goes all over. You just grease them until they get expanded, but when the grease comes out, you stop. So I just gotta grease these, the U-joints, and top off my differential oil, and I'm out of here. So I hope everyone is having themselves a great day, great night when you're watching this here video. And if you're not, certainly try that all over again tomorrow. I'll catch you guys later. See ya.